Well, the Trump administration has thrown another spanner in the works just days before the G20 summit kicks off in Johannesburg. Beyond boycotting the crucial gathering, Washington has now warned Pretoria against pushing for a joint statement at this weekend's summit. The diplomatic standoff is even trickier as South Africa prepares to pass the baton to the United States at the end of this year. Our international correspondent, Simon Marks, traveling all the way from the United States, and we have the pleasure of having him right here in studio this morning. Simon, it puts the allies to both South Africa and the United States in a tricky position. I would never have thought this would be at play. He's having his cake and trying to eat it as well.
It is absolutely astonishing, Arabile, and it is great to see you, and it is great to be here in South Africa for the weekend's activities. This last-minute, last-ditch effort by the Trump administration, which, as you know, has completely withdrawn, not just from the G20 Leaders Summit, but from the meetings that have led up to it, completely withdrawn, but now are basically saying, but we want to condition the outcome of what takes place in Johannesburg at Nasrec this weekend. Let's begin by understanding exactly what this diplomatic note sent from the US Embassy in Pretoria to DIRCO says and what it implies.
Okay, Simon. So then the question mark becomes whose credibility gets sort of downplayed here? Is it South Africa's and South Africa's G20? Or is it the United States' G20 leading into next year, of course, becomes a big question mark?
Well, I mean, the fact that the United States government is not even going to show up this weekend at Nasrec to receive the gavel of the G20 from President Ramaphosa at the end of this Leaders Summit means that to a considerable degree, you know, the G20 will not have a president unless and until somehow Washington goes through some kind of formal efforts to helm the G20 ahead of next year's summit. Look, I think the really interesting thing here is that President Trump, in a fit of pique, pulled the rug out from underneath Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, all those American officials that were already planning the arrival of the Vice President here in Johannesburg for this weekend's Leaders Summit by suddenly saying a couple of weeks ago, we're not having anything to do with it. And now they have what I think many officials around the world from other governments will view as the temerity to suggest that they get to condition the outcome of this summit. You know, there's that old phrase that applies to lotteries all over the world, you know, and quiz competitions. You've got to be in it to win it. They have withdrawn, not just from the summit, but from the meeting of the Sherpas that was laying the plans for this. And now this letter saying, well, don't even think about issuing a statement, a declaration at the end of this summit, suggests